yet known. The White House had said the following, that President Donald Trump has been made aware of Times Square incident and will continue to receive updates. Let's speak to our US correspondent, Amanda Walker. Amanda, just bring us up to date with what we know. We're getting snippets of information reaching us from the various emergency services in NYC.
Yeah, the authorities in New York basically trying to figure out whether this was an accident or whether they're treating this as a crime scene or whether it's terrorism. You can see Times Square now. Anyone who's been there knows how incredibly busy, how packed it is with pedestrians pretty much at any time of the day. What we can see now is this car, this Honda Accord, which is pretty much in ruins, certainly at the front, the trunk open at the back. We understand that the driver has been arrested. The scene looks very controlled now. It's all cordoned off. And obviously the emergency services are there. From what we understand, 10 people are being treated. One person has died, is what we understand in this incident so far, when this car ploughed into pedestrians. Incredibly busy at that time. Midtown Manhattan, this is a big tourist site. The whole area is now shut down, and we understand that this car was traveling on the corner of 45th Street and Broadway. So a lot of people on the pavement in that area when the car mounted it. The fire department are on the scene. That vehicle is very badly damaged. We do know that the Associated Press news agency are reporting that the driver is being tested for alcohol, and that this US official has told the Reuters news agency that they don't believe this was terror related. Of course, any sort of situation like this raises huge alarms because of what we've seen in cities across the world in situations that have proved to be terror related. So you can imagine in a high profile area like this, a huge tourist area in New York City, when something like this happens, people do have the worst fears. But it seems like, from what we're hearing from authorities at the moment, that is coming out gradually, that they don't think this is terror related, and that the driver, who you can see being arrested now, taken away, is being tested for alcohol.
Amanda, let's just pause there for a second. A number of witnesses have been speaking in and around Times Square. Let's have a listen to what they have to say.
You didn't actually see it, but you heard it.
Yes, sir.
Can you give us a sense, as best you can, how fast might this vehicle have been going based on the noise that you heard?
I would have to imagine that the vehicle was easily traveling more than 30 miles an hour. You know what the traffic's like here. It's quite congested. To hit people and to be catapulted up on there, would have to have easily been exceeding the speed limit here, but the speed would only be a guess, sir. But easily would have had to have been speeding for this type of an area, and to be put up on there, we're still kind of baffled on how it could have gotten up so high on the pole itself, unless it hit another vehicle.
And he was going at a very high rate of speed, and also,
that's the best
according
guess.
to reports, in the wrong direction, northerly on Broadway, which is a southerly road.
Which direction is this, sir?
That's north.
That's north. So the automobile was traveling north,
which is against the flow of traffic, which is a very hard thing to do by accident here in New York City.
As crowded as it is, yes, sir.
Let's again bring in Sky's Amanda Walker, who was listening to that gentleman, that witness as well. I mean, he perplexed by the fact that the car managed to get on top of that bollard. But, I mean, let's be clear about it, Amanda. Those bollards are meant to stop traffic, and it's certainly done that.
Yeah, and anyone who's been to this area knows that a car travelling at 30 miles an hour is quite a rare thing. This is a heavily congested area that's really dominated by pedestrians. And what we heard from those witnesses there is this car was going against the traffic, which is very hard to do, as they were just mentioning there in this area of Midtown Manhattan. So 30 miles an hour in such a built-up, congested area, when you look at this car, you can kind of understand why that impact and why that damage is so severe. Obviously, the investigation will focus now on the man who we believe was the driver, who's been arrested and tested for alcohol.
Amanda, thank you very much indeed. Well, as we continue to look at pictures of the emergency services in and around Times Square, a huge amount of media interest, of course, in any incident of this type that takes place, in the heart of any American city. We'll reiterate that New York Police Department suggesting that they do not believe that this incident was related to terrorism. We'll have more later.